The Alexander technique, to put it simply, is a method of postural re-education. What that means is that it helps us to identify deep-seated tensions which we hold within ourselves, and it teaches us to release them. And the effect of using the technique in our lives is that it removes unnecessary effort from our actions. And when we are acting with just the amount of effort that we need, our actions become much more graceful, much more harmonious, and much more effective. So Anand, you are sitting on the chair now, and you have the table in front of you with a book on it. What you need to be aware of is to really prevent yourself from the book and the table pulling you into them. So first of all, just stay where you are. Be aware of my hand on your neck. And then, with the sense that you are staying back in your back and that your arms are starting from here where my hand is, what I want you to do is to use one hand and just pick up the book, whichever hand you are comfortable with, but stay with my hand on your back. So when you're ready, you need to lift your hand and pick the book up. That's it. And then just rest it on the table as you would when you were reading, if you were reading. And now if you were to open the book, you will need both hands. So you still need to stay with an awareness of my hand on your back. And staying with that, use the other hand and see if you can open the book. That's it. Okay. So there you are. You have the book in front of you. You have yourself at the table. But what again you need to be very conscious about is that this is a really strong stimulus to pull you into it. So before you start reading, come back to yourself. Give your directions for a free neck. Let your head float up into my hand on your head. And let your weight drop through your sit bones so your back is lengthening, widening, expanding. And you have the strong, stable, responsive center from which your arms are going out. And then you can allow yourself to actually look at the book. Okay, what you want to do is you see that bottle on the shelf. What you need to do is to reach out and pick up the bottle, bring it down to yourself. Now again, what happens when you look up at the bottle is that it pulls all of you towards it. So the first principle is to stop, come back to yourself and get a sense of your head, neck and back in that same elastic, responsive, vibrant, stringy kind of relationship. So just be conscious of standing on your feet, weight dropping, neck free and head floating up. And then I've got my hand on your back with a sense of that, keeping an awareness of that. Bring your arm out from your back so that it lifts, goes towards the bottle and allow yourself to pick it up. That's it. And then just bring it down and stay with it. Come back to yourself, head, neck back, weight dropping, head floating up. Now, what you need to do is to pick up these books, but you need to pick it up so that you don't tense up, contract in order to do that. So first of all, of course, you start by stopping. You don't let the books pull you into them. Let your neck lengthen. Let your head remain delicately poised on the top of your neck, and then come back to my hand on your back. And then bring your arms out to the books and just rest them like that, so that your hand is under the books. Okay, that's it. That's it. And then you've got your hands in position. You need to lift them. But again, you need to lift them so that the action is done, not with you contracting and tightening, but with you releasing and opening. So come back to your neck, free your neck, send your head up, and you can think of opening across the back, across the front. Even though your hands are going together, you can think of your shoulders moving apart. And then with the sense of that opening, just allow your hands to lift and the books come up. That's it. And then just bring yourself up to standing with that. That's it. So again, come back to your primary position, weight dropping, neck free, head lifting. That's it. And then just bring the books down, put them back on the table. In this session now, we are not going to play the guitar. What you're going to do is to work on standing with the guitar and allowing your directions to work in you, so that when you actually get to playing it, you can do it in a released way instead of in a tightened kind of way. So before you even lift your hands up to take hold of the guitar, come back to yourself. First of all, get a sense of standing on your feet. Get a sense of your feet releasing completely into the floor. Allow yourself to get support from the floor, receive it, and then let yourself come up from it. And that's the response that you make when your weight drops down through your feet. So you have that, you have yourself coming up in a stringy and elastic way, and that frees your neck, sends your head up. And then I've got my hand on your back. Now what you want to do is to lift your hands and position them on the guitar as you would when you start playing. So with an awareness of my hand and your neck remaining free, lift your arms, position your hands. That's it, and just stay there. You don't want to start playing just yet. You want to come back, give your directions, stand on your feet, let your hips release, let your weight drop, and let yourself come up right from your feet up to your head. Okay. So you've got your fingers, hands and fingers on the computer, on the keyboard. And as you start working, so you know enough to give your directions, let your weight drop through your sit bones, and through a free neck, let your head float up, and you're staying back in your back, not getting pulled down into the computer, the keyboard or the screen. But then you also need to actually do some work. And while you're using the keyboard, the main thing that you need to think about is that the use of your fingers should be not with tightening, but with release. So I'm going to have my hand on your neck here, and you want to think of your arms coming out right from your back, being supported by your back, and then lengthening out through your fingers into the keyboard. And as a result of that lengthening, your finger goes down and presses a key. So in your own time, with an awareness of my hand on your back, start with your directions and allow the lengthening to depress a finger on the keyboard. That's it. That's it. Try the other hand now. That's it. That's it. So you're staying back, you're allowing your arms to flow out from your back, lengthening your fingers, and the depression on the keys comes not through tightening but through release and widening. I started by helping Anand become aware of tensions which he did not even know that he was carrying. We then worked on releasing these tensions, both in activities which he would do in daily life as well as things he would do professionally. As he begins to apply these, he will find that he needs less effort and that his daily living becomes more easy, harmonious, graceful, and effective.